How did
me
me
and
and Natalie
Jonathan
meet? Well, there's definitely
Well-
two sides to this story. Actually, there's the old saying, there's three sides to every story. Yours, mine, and the truth. And mine is the truth as well as my side too. So I hit two of the three in one.
I mean, he tells the story differently than I do.
It was about a little over 3 years ago.
3 weeks before my WWE tryout.
I was working at Blizzard Entertainment,
He is a complete nerd.
managing a team of analysts. CrossFit was just like a hobby. I really liked fitness, but it wasn't a career choice at all. I had an MBA, had gone to law school, dropped out of law school though, but did finish my MBA program in business school. And one day I'm just going through my Instagram. I was out trolling for chicks on the gram. So I clicked on that and saw there was like Oasis Church. I was like, oh, that's pretty attractive. So long story short is, I think she commented on my post first. There was a CrossFit photo, and I think she was like, oh my God, I want to try CrossFit. Of course you want to try CrossFit.
All of a sudden, I see this guy like 3 or 4 of my photos on Instagram.
How many girls had hit me up on Instagram being they want to try CrossFit? So I was like, all right, cool. Like, she's super hot.
So I click on his page and I was like, ooh, who is this? He's cute. Because he had done like all these like fitness photo shoots and stuff.
Hit her back. I was like, hey, didn't give her my number. This is before the days of DM or anything, right? So I'm not trying to give some girl my number who I didn't know. I was like, hey, you can email me. So I gave her like my work email. I think like a day or so later, I get an email, hey, this is Natalie, blah, blah, blah. Here's my phone number.
And then all of a sudden, like, he went dark, like MIA, totally like disappeared. And I was like, oh, hell no. Did this just really happen? And I was with my girlfriend. I went to church. I hadn't heard from him because it was a Sunday.
I swear to God, this is like hand on a Bible. I entered her number into my phone and I went to text her. I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna text her, hey, this is Jonathan, what's up? Here's my number, save it. As I went to text her, my phone legitimately like just crashed. Like there was some weird freaking like software malfunction on my iPhone.
And was like, oh my God, like as soon as you emailed me, you like broke my phone and all this stuff. And I was like, oh God, one of these guys. I broke his phone, sure.
And it was dead, gone. I lost all my contacts, lost everything. I actually had to do the old, on Facebook where you like hit up like all your friends on Facebook and be like, hey, I lost my phone, please text me your number. And I was like, oh man, it's crazy.
And then I was like, how fucking rude, like how weird.
And then kind of forgot about it all. And then I want to say maybe like, a day, she makes it sound like it was like 3 days, 4 days. It was like 2 days maximum. Might have not even been 24 hours.
So he was living in Orange County. I was living in LA. He wanted me to come to his CrossFit gym in Los Angeles. Minnie, you're killing my interview or my Q&A right now. I'm gonna need you to get it together. I wanted to do CrossFit, but then I was kind of like not really looking for a relationship because I was still trying to get my shit together. I wasn't even living by myself. I was living and sharing a bed with one of my best friends. So that to me was like not that cute to be like, hey, come over, cool, we have nowhere to like sit.
Basically, I was thinking she wanted to not really CrossFit, but wanted to like hang out. Before Netflix and chill, it was Netflix and chill, So I would hit her up and be like, all right, cool, like, yeah, you're gonna come, I'll train you, we'll do, and I would just list some gnarly ass workout, right? Where normally any other girl would be like, oh my God, that's too hard, like, can we just do like the elliptical or maybe like some pussy shit? And she'd be like, oh, badass, that's dope, yeah, let's kill that. I'm like, what? No, like, you're not responding in the correct way. We were supposed to meet up on a Saturday, get in a workout, and then, I'm like, hey, let's hang out or some dumb shit afterwards. Well, she hits me up on like Thursday, like, yo, I was in Orange County. I swooped by Orange Coast CrossFit, got a really great deal. They signed me up. So cool, thank you for the help. Like, that was a cool hookup.
And once Jonathan hears that I like did all of that without him and he was like super taken back, like, oh my God, this girl doesn't even really want to like hang out. This girl doesn't want to see me because Jonathan, he thinks that he's just the cat's meow and would pull mad bitches all the time.
Are we still training on Saturday? She's like, no, we don't need to train on Saturday. It's all good because, I'm a member now. And my mind was like, wait a minute. She really just wanted to CrossFit. Of course you want to try CrossFit. So I was like, hell no, like no way, I gotta meet this girl. She sounds so dope.
He was working at Blizzard, and they were trying to launch a game at the time, so he was working like 18-hour shifts.
We were in the middle of crunch for Diablo 3, D3, and our overtime schedule was just insane. But it was a night, she was gonna be there at like 6, we were supposed to work till like midnight.
And one of the nights, I told him, I was like, oh yeah, like I'm going to, the gym's called OCCF, and I'm going here, you know, for my first class Monday night. And he's like, oh, you are? Oh, cool. You know what? I think I'm gonna be there too. And I was like, that's weird, but whatever.
And I was like, oh, guys, I'm feeling kind of sick. I gotta go. So I dipped out to Orange Coast CrossFit, and I'm talking to my buddy Steve, and I'm like warming up, and I'm like doing muscle ups and all this stuff, trying to get myself like kind of swole up because I knew this super bomb chick was coming.
I remember I looked to my right, and there's this guy like trying to do like a chin up or pull up, or I don't know what he was doing, but he basically almost fell on his face.
And as I'm doing that, I kind of looking, and she walks in, and it was like you've seen like the movies where it's like, it's the end of the world as we know. Like just my fucking life just went.
I was like, what's wrong with this guy? This is funny.
And I remember getting so distracted that like I almost busted my chin on a muscle up. And I got down and I was like, and she was like, hey, what's up? I'm like, Natalie. And I was like,
this all of a sudden, this like big macho CrossFit guy can't even speak when we like introduce ourselves to each other.
hi, I'm Jonathan. Super fucking awkward and weird. And like, she's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go work out. Everyone else is in like actual like athletic wear. She came in wearing like these like combat boots, which I was like, I don't understand if you like thought that you were doing like basic training, but this is CrossFit, not freaking the Marines.
I do my class, fucking kill it, cause, you know.
I was like, damn, that's pretty athletic girl.
And then when I'm leaving, I'm like, oh, nice to meet you, bye.
I hope you had a good workout. Yes, that was nice.
I'm ready to go back, you know, to my place in LA.
Can I walk you to your car? So I walk her to her car, and in my head, I'm like, you know, like there's those times when you just know you're blowing it, and like I'd say something in my head, I'd be like, what the fuck are you even saying? And it was like that. So we got to the car, and I was like, okay, goodbye, nice to meet you. And she was like, I could tell she was like, this, really? All right, cool, like, nice to meet you too. Great talk.
And then Jonathan calls me on the phone.
Hell no, like no way. Like pull it together. So I knew I had to get a hold of her immediately because she was driving off.
And he's like, hey, do you want to go and have a juice? And in my head, I'm thinking like, why didn't you just ask me when we were walking to my car? What's wrong with this guy? Like, oh my God.
And she's like, I'm on the freeway already. I'm like, oh, just come. The juice here is like amazing. It's like world famous. And she's like, all right, cool. So she came back, and luckily just I was able to pull it together. I just, you know, was just myself.
We go, we have a juice, cool, conversation, great. Jonathan's actually extremely smart. So that was like one of my major attractions to him when I first initially met him. I mean, obviously he looked good, so that was really my first attraction because, I mean, it's on Instagram and shit.
Within moments of like sitting down and like talking to her one-on-one, she's such a fantastic person. I had never met someone that was so like genuine, so down to earth, and her kind heart I was done. Like from that moment, I even told her, I was like, we're gonna be together, like done deal. And she thought I was like trying to spit game or whatever, dumb stuff like that.
And he basically said, you realize that I'm gonna marry you or date you. I can't remember which one. Anyways, one or the other. I was like really taken back because I didn't really want to date anybody at the time either.
I literally dropped everyone I had been talking to, anyone I was dating. Like I literally burned every bridge and put 110% into her. And
now look at us. I'm married.
And we ended up getting married. So all started with a follow. Now we're here. Ha boots. But you definitely commented first, and you definitely followed me first. No, that's not even debatable. That's fact. Oh, I love you. We have one of our dogs is sleeping in their pee-pee pad, and their dog is sleeping out in the sun like a normal one. So we have idiot and smart.